here to another Coach's Corner. Chase the Horseman Horsley here alongside with assistant coach Brendan Howard. And Coach, how are you doing?
Doing good. Thanks for having me. Just had practice this morning, so onward and upward.
You know, I feel really short right now. Like, I'm sitting in my chair and I'm like actually kind of having to look up.
Yeah, that happens sometimes, but
Yeah.
we're here.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. Where did you come? How did you get here to Gillette?
So out of high school, I committed to Eastern Washington University. Was there for a year, redshirted, hurt my knee, just wasn't going to work out there. So then I went to Montana State Billings, played there for 2 years, and COVID hit. And then we were going to have a season, and then that's actually where I met Coach Neary. And Coach Neary is known in my family, but that's like the first time I've met him. So he was like a volunteer coach during COVID. So he had nothing else going on besides coaching basketball. And we didn't have games, so you can imagine how that went.
Yeah.
But no, he was good. And then so after that, I actually grad transferred to the University of North Dakota and finished out there. And then played a couple years over in Iceland. And then was just coaching high school basketball last year. And then Coach Neary said kind of this spring, hey, I might have a spot. And so now I'm here.
Yeah. No. Are you enjoying it?
Oh, yeah, no, that's good. I like it. So it's a little bit smaller than Great Falls. I'm from Montana, so
Yeah.
I mean, I'm used to this kind of weather, all that. But it's been good. People are good. Neary's have been great. They have me over. And, you know, Janie and Liz have been great. The whole staff here has been great, so it's been good so far.
You know, crazy. You went from straight 1 year of high school basketball to here. I
Yeah.
mean, it's pretty
2
crazy.
years, 2 years of high.
Yeah, so you had 2 years of high school
Yeah.
basketball, and then you come here. So how was that high school transition to college transition like?
So my dad's been a high school longtime coach forever, and my brother coached college basketball. So I could kind of see from my brother's point of view, just kind of like watching him, what it was kind of going to be like. It's a lot different, but the same way it's a lot similar. Just from like day to day, you want to get your players better skill development. I had the freshmen, so
Yeah.
it's a big difference in talent level and athleticism.
Yes, absolutely.
But the thing that's the same is you want to instill winning. You want to instill the right way to play, and put your heart out on and go to work every day. Now the beauty of it is, and I've talked to my dad, I've talked to Coach Neary about this. High school, you're kind of restricted to what the gene pool is coming up for that high school.
Right. Yes.
So sometimes you're gonna be really good, and no matter what. Sometimes how hard you get, or how hard you coach, or how good of the coach you are, it's not always gonna work out. So that's what's nice about college. We can try and go get the guys we want, and then go from there and see how it turns out.
Now you said your brother's a college coach. No,
He was.
He
He's
was.
not-
So
yeah.
he's not doing it anymore. Okay.
So he's actually now, because I left, he's because my dad retired, and so then his longtime assistant took over the head job, who was my brother's high school teammate, and so now my brother's actually helping him coach high school now.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So he went from college to high school.
Yeah.
And
But Bobby,
Nice
my
helping
brother's a
out
really
there.
good coach. He's
That's
been
awesome.
coaching. I mean, he's probably one of the most knowledgeable basketball minds I'll ever meet. So he's good and really good skill development.
so your whole family is just coaches.
My mom played. My dad played in college. They both were at Montana State. My brother went to Montana State, and then my middle brother played football at Minot State. Yeah.
So he's the weirdo of the group.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, that's basically how it kind of all panned out. Yeah.
That's so cool. I mean, it's nice whenever you have like the full athletic family and then everyone comes together like, all right, hey, we're all going to be coaches or we're all going to be doing this.
So, I mean, while coaching still has a lot of learning curves, I'm still learning a lot. I feel like I have enough of a foundation of like what's to be expected, like what you should do. You just can't get too high or too low with
And
it.
I feel like that really helps because in one, your dad's coaching, then your brothers, and then like it's just one thing after another. Now, are you the older, younger?
I'm the youngest.
You're the youngest.
Yeah.
Wow. So then the middle, is he coaching football or anything? Or
Coaches
what's he-
middle school
He
football.
coaches middle school. So there it
Yeah.
is. Everyone's coaching
Yeah.
in basketball or some sport. That's super cool though. Yeah, and it's always really cool, like getting to know, like what your coaching background is, how you got here. Tell us a little about Eastern Washington. I know that's a pretty high, big school to kind of go to play basketball for.
Yeah, so I went there out of high school, and it was a good experience. I learned a lot. Obviously, it didn't work out there because I redshirted. I wasn't really supposed to redshirt, but honestly, the thing happened with my knee. But I was also playing behind against the Big Sky all-time leading scorer and like the player of the year that year,
Yeah.
Bogdan Bliznik. So I mean, I just learned that if you're gonna play college sports, it's where I learned. If you're gonna play college sports, like, it's a lot different. It's like it's your job.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go to work every day, and like 8 o'clock means you got to be there by 7:45.
Yep.
And I mean, I think it taught me a lot of good habits on just how you have to work and like the expectation of what if you're going to be like this is what it's going to have to be.
Right. And that's always kind of like the awakening for a lot of
Yeah.
those college athletes.
Mhm.
You show up late, now you're running bowls.
No,
or
yeah.
you're doing suicide till you puke or something.
Yeah, it's just you got to do a lot of preparation. And Eastern was really good at it. And then at MSUB, I had a really good coach, Coach Durham, and he had coached at Montana State for a long, long time when they were really good.
Mm-hmm.
And he was assistant in New Mexico State as well when they went to the tournament. And it was go to work.
Yeah.
Simple. Like, this is what you're here to do. You better do it. Like, better put your all into it. And so it was like, I mean, that part's kind of instilled in me too. It's like, so when I'm supposed to be somewhere, like say I'm supposed to be here at 8, I'm trying to be here by like 7:30. Well, it's a bad habit. That's not always a good habit. But
I mean,
yeah.
it's not a terrible habit to have. You
No,
could have
yeah.
a lot worse habits than
Yeah.
showing up early.
No, but they taught me a lot. Like I said, I was very fortunate with Coach Legs and Coach Durham. Like and obviously like my dad, they've taught me a lot about what I need to do.
Though always like the saying is, if you're on time, you're late. If you're early,
You're on time.
You're on time.
Yeah,
and
that
then
was-
if
that
you're
was-
late, it's unacceptable.
Yeah, that was Coach Durham to a T.
So
Yeah.
that's all it was. That's how it was like whenever you do like shows like with theater and all that. It's
Yeah.
like if you're on time, you're late. But if you're not, like if you're early, you're good.
No, yeah, exactly. And that's what I try to teach these guys here, especially early on. And most of them have been doing a good job with that. So it's good to see how that kind of translates.
Tell us a little bit kind of what the assistant coach normally does. I know a lot of times you guys are watching grades. I know you're like on top of like every single
Yeah.
thing and like the recruiting type of stuff with Coach Neary. Well, what do you normally do as the assistant coach?
So just outside of like the stuff that comes with it, like I basically do whatever the head coach doesn't have time to do. I don't want to say doesn't want to do, but doesn't have time to do, because he's a head coach. He has a lot of things he needs to do. So obviously that includes like just like the laundry and all that, like hotel plan, that stuff. But that stuff's still like pretty minuscule to what we do.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure, like Jalen was saying, we work the kids out. We build relationships with those kids. So I mean, they can come talk to us anytime. Make sure they're staying on top of their school. No, they just need someone to talk to. Like by all means, and working out with them. It means go rebound for them, or put them through a workout. And Coach Neary lets me do a couple scouts, and looks at stuff and cut up some film, and then some player development stuff I do with some of the guys too.
Yeah. All right, so let's kind of dive into some games. I mean,
Yeah.
right now you guys are 8-9 on the year, not
Yeah.
where you guys want to be. Non-conference was a little rough. Had some
Yeah.
tough games out in Las Vegas, Arizona. I mean, what have you seen so far from this team?
I mean, they keep coming back. I mean, it doesn't faze them. They're going to come in and work hard. So, I mean, there's obviously days that they don't want to be there, but for the most part, as a group, they come in and they try to put their best foot forward, and they're good kids.
We take a look at some of the players: Rashad McCormick, Syed, Jaden Smith. He had a career game with 23 points the other day, as well too. What have you seen just from those three? I mean, Syed obviously coming in as sophomore, came in last year, played. Looks like he's kind of jumped up a notch a little bit.
Yeah. With Syed specifically, I think he's taking big steps in trying to be a leader. And he's not always the loudest in the room, but he does try to lead by example. And I think he rallies those guys. Like I said, it's not always going to be the loudest, but he does a good job of that. And I think he tries hard every day, so which is good. Rashad, obviously transfer. I'm a transfer. So he's obviously done a good job, I think, adapting to the situation. And he just, again, he does a good job of commanding a lot of attention and then kicking when he needs to. He tries to make the right play. He's coachable.
Yeah.
And I think he knows that what the right play is. And obviously coming to a new spot's not always the easiest.
Right.
So, but he's done a good job transitioning with that, I think.
And then we take a look at like Jabe Batchelor, the way he's been playing so far. Rebounding wise has been really solid. He has a couple, when he can get those shots up and inside the paint, he's a really big prolific scorer. What have you seen so far from him? Those are just kind of the observations that I've had.
Yeah, I think GB hasn't scratched the surface of what he really can be, but like you said, you see those bright spots, and like I said, I think he's truly trying to work towards it. And like again, we're young, so it's going to be growing pains. But he's taking everything in stride that we've asked him to do, and I think it's starting to translate a little bit more. So that's good to see.
You know, taking a look at some of these, you know, back to some of these games, you guys are 1-1 in conference play. Rock Springs game was a little rough out there
Yeah.
against Western Wyoming. What were some of the things that kind of turned that game around to where it was at?
I mean, we just, shot ourselves in the foot a couple times. Like not, two technicals or like a flagrant one, just, out of character things. I mean, that's 4 points right there.
Right.
So that kind of hurts us. And just clock management. I mean, Western Wyoming played really good, but we also we can't beat ourselves on the road, especially on the road in conference games. You need to get those wins, and there's just a couple mistakes that we made there. Just can't have those mistakes.
Yeah. And then we take it to, home game. And the big thing is, coaches always say this, you got to win at home to win the North. And you guys do get the job done 64-58, but it took overtime. What kind of happened?
I mean, I think Central's a pretty good team. They run their stuff very well, so it's always going to be like a low possession game. And with low possession games, you just got to take advantage of the chances you get. And I think in both games, too, back to Western Wyoming, our guys battled. It was just like, sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
And against Central, I think they battled. They hung with it. I mean, they were down 5 or 6 with like a minute and a half go. A lot of teams, or down 5 with a minute. A lot of teams would just say it's over. They didn't. They battled through, and Cy came back, hit a big shot, and then overtime, shot kind of took over. So it was good.
You have Eastern and you have Northwest College coming up. You have Eastern on the road, then you have Northwest College coming up back at home. What do you guys need to do to get a road win?
Just gotta D up, come in with energy. Feel like there's a target on our back because every team that plays us they're gonna feel like they have to play their best against us. Just so defensively, I think we just got to be tough, and then offensively discipline what we have. But I think defensively is where it all starts with us.
Now, do you think that's because you guys made it to the regional tournament last year and you guys made it all the way to the championship game, and then you were hosting it, but you just couldn't get over that hump in that championship match? Do you think that might be why people might have a target? But I know Gillette's been pretty good at basketball for years.
I think it's just being Gillette. I mean, they see our, we have a great facility, and Coach Neri has done a really, really good job. I think, and it's not necessarily a slide or anything, but teams want to play their best against really good teams and really good programs.
Right.
And I think that they've done a good job of really building up their reputation here. So I think we're going to get every team's best shot, and as we should.
Absolutely. Well, before we get you out of here, what are your 3 main goals coming up for this week? I mean, with with Eastern Wyoming and Northwest, what are your goals?
Kind of be the hardest playing team. That would be one. The toughest team, and then obviously going to win.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much
for
joining us.
Thank you.
Once again, we'll be back here with more of Coach's Corner coming up later on in the week. Make sure you check us out here on our Pronghorn Athletics YouTube page. Again, coming up this weekend, they've got Northwest College here at 4 p.m. So don't miss it here at the Pronghorn Center. Thanks again for watching here on Coach's Corner, from Chase the Horseman Horsley to assistant coach Brendan Howard.